My view is rehabilitation, how many people are in the prison, and how we're rehabilitating them, educating them, and giving them the help that they require is more important than figures, to be perfectly honest. And I do know at the moment our prison figures are quite good. We have a lot more um, people not being sent to prison, being given community service. This all helps with part of rehabilitation of crime.
Is that new though? Has that not been ongoing for some time?
I was back in the department in 2010 and 11, was in charge of the prison at the time when I was in Home Affairs then. And because of financial restraints, there was really no education going on in the prison. The rehabilitation it was very frustrating for me at the time that this wasn't happening. So when I took over as minister, it was something I was very keen on because there was no budgetary money for them back in 2010, 11, 12, 13 because of restraints. And we've gone out of our way to find budgets to help with rehabilitation, to help with education, to work better with mental health, to have our probation service, which now works out of the prison, working with prisoners as they're discharged. So I think there's a major, major step forward. I think what we have to look at with the strategy was the relationship between the police, the courts, ourselves. Um, we have now got good communications going forward on this one.
You do. You can. What's different now that makes your communication working so much better?
Well, I mean, we've completely got new people in charge in different directions. So I'm not criticising those in the past, and I keep going back to there was big budget restraints that stopped a lot of what was happening now. But we are talking together now. We are trying our very best, and I keep going back to digitisation, which is what I did yesterday. That I'm quite sure that we're not going to have this. Handwritten reports and probation reports and everything being done handwritten in triplicate and 3 times over, and that we can now work with the courts, with digitisation, and cut down an awful lot of this.
How quickly will that digitisation come into force?
Well, the police are ahead of everybody at this stage. As I said to the committee yesterday, I can't enforce this within the courts or within the registry, but I know that the new registrar and the judiciary are now quite keen to digitise. We've just done major improvements with the link between the prison and the courts. That's just all been updated. I was speaking to one of the magistrates this week, and they're saying that the quality is now very good. We now have to encourage more lawyers to use it and the courts to use it. This all helps to speed things up, and to me, I think it looks good for the future.
Which is finally then to touch on budgets as we keep coming back to. We've got the budget coming up shortly. How much will that play a part in how the criminal justice strategy goes forward?
I think we're all going to have to wait and see what the Treasury Minister has to say in February. But my department did put several bids in for various projects that we've got coming. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed that we are successful in certain directions, at least with some of them.